आज के इस वीडियो में हम जनरल कंसिडरेशन इन कंस्ट्रक्टिंग एसे टाइप टेस्ट आइटम्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। रॉबर्ट Ebel and David A. Frisbie in 1991 in their book write that teachers are often as concerned with measuring the ability of students to think about and use knowledge as they are with measuring the knowledge their student possesses. In these instances, tests are needed that permit students some degree of latitude in their responses. Essay tests are adapted to this purpose. Students write a response to a question that is several paragraphs to several pages long. तलबा जो है वो सवाल का जवाब देते हैं जो कि कई पैराग्राफ से लेकर कई सफ़ों तक लंबा हो सकता है। Essays can used for higher learning outcomes. Essays जो हैं वो higher learning outcomes को मालूम करने के लिए इस्तेमाल होते हैं, such as synthesis or evaluation as well as lower level outcomes. They provide items in which students supply rather than select the appropriate answer. Usually the student compose a response in one or more sentences. Essay test allows students to demonstrate their ability to recall, organize, synthesize, relate, analyze, and evaluate ideas. Types of essay test. Essay test may be divided into many types. ऐसे टेस्ट जो है उन्हें मुख्तलिफ इक़साम में तकसीम किया जा सकता है। Monry and Cater 1993 divided essay test into many categories like selective recall basis given, evaluation recall basis given, comparison of two things on a single designated basis, comparison of two things in general, decisions for or against, cause and effect, explanation of the use and exact meaning of some word, phrase on statement, summary of some unit of textbook or article, analysis, statement of relationships, illustration or examples, classification, application of rules, laws or principles to new situation, discussion, statement of an author's purpose in the selection or organization of material, criticism as to the adequacy, correctness or relevance of printed statement or to a classmate answer to a question on the lesson, reorganization of the facts, formulation of new question, problems and questions raised, new methods of procedure. Types of constructed response atoms. Essay atoms can vary from very lengthy, open-ended of semester term paper or take home tests that have flexible page limits 10 to 12 pages, no more than 30 pages. To essay with responses limited or restricted to 1 page or less. Thus, essay types are of two types: restricted response essay test and extended response essay tests. Restricted response essay test atoms: an essay atom that poses a specific problem for which a student must recall proper information, organize it in a suitable manner, drive a defensible conclusion, and express it within the limits of posed problem or within a page or time limit is called a restricted response essay type atom. The statement of the problem specifies response limitations that guide the student in responding and provide evaluation criteria for scoring. Example 1. List the major similarities and differences in the lives of people living in Islamabad and Faisalabad. फहरिस्त बनाएं मेजर मुशाबतों की और इख्तलाफात की जो लोगों की ज़िंदगियों के दरमियान हैं फैसलाबाद और इस्लामाबाद के। कंपेयर एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ लेक्चर टीचिंग मेथड्स एंड डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन टीचिंग मेथड। कंपेयर करें एडवांटेजेस फ़ायदे और डिसएडवांटेज नुकसान किन दो टीचिंग मेथड्स के, लेक्चर टीचिंग मेथड के और डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन टीचिंग मेथड के। रिस्ट्रिक्टेड रिस्पांस essay items. When should restricted response essay item be used? Restricted response essay items are used to analyze relationship, compare and contrast positions, state necessary assumptions, identify appropriate conclusions, explain cause-effect relationship, organize data to support a viewpoint, evaluate the quality and worth of an atom or action, integrate data from several sources. Extended response essay type test atom. An essay that allows the student to determine the length and complexity of response is called an extended response essay atom. This type of essay is most useful at synthesis or evaluation levels of cognitive domain. We are interested in determining whether students can organize, integrate, express, and evaluate information, ideas, or pieces of knowledge. The extended response atom are used. Example: identify as many different ways to generate electricity in Pakistan as you can. निशानदेही करें उन मुख्तलिफ तरीक़ों से जिनसे बिजली पैदा की जा सकती है पाकिस्तान के अंदर, जितने आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं। गिव एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ ईच, और हर मेथड का, हर वे का जो एडवांटेज है, फ़ायदा है और नुकसान है, वो भी आपने बताने हैं। योर रिस्पॉन्स विल बी ग्रेडेड ऑन इट्स एक्यूरेसी, आपका जो जवाब होगा उसकी ग्रेडिंग स्कोरिंग जो है वो उसकी दुरुस्तगी पे, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन जामिया होनी चाहिए, एंड प्रैक्टिकल एबिलिटी होनी चाहिए, वो अप्लाई भी हो सकना चाहिए। योर रिस्पॉन्स शुड बी 8 to 10 पेजेस इन लेंथ, इसकी जो आपके जवाब की लंबाई है वो 8 से 10 पेजेस की होनी चाहिए। एंड इट विल बी वैल्यूएटेड अकॉर्डिंग टू रॉब्रिक, और ये रॉब्रिक के मुताबिक होनी चाहिए। स्कोरिंग क्राइटेरिया ऑलरेडी प्रोवाइडेड, जो कि आपको ऑलरेडी दिया गया है। स्कोरिंग एसे टाइप एटम्स, एसे टाइप एटम्स की आप स्कोरिंग किस तरह करते हैं? ए रूब्रिक और स्कोरिंग क्राइटेरिया इज डेवलप्ड टू evaluate, score an essay type atom. A rubric is a scoring guide for summative assessments. It is a set of criteria and standards linked to learning objectives that are used to assess a student performance on papers, projects, essays, and other assignments. Rubrics allow for standards evaluation according to specified criteria, making grading simpler and more transparent. A rubric may vary from simple checklist to elaborate combination of checklist and rating scales. How elaborative your rubric is depends on what you are trying to measure. If your essay atom is a restricted response atom, simply assessing mastery of actual content, a fairly simple listening of essential points would be sufficient. An example of the rubric of restricted response atom is given below. Name and describe 5 of the most important factors of unemployment in Pakistan